People hate Clone Wars Season 1. These are the same people that forget it has episodes like Rookies, Lair of Grievous, and Hostage Crisis. All I'm saying is it's kind of an underrated gem of a season, and today I'll be ranking every single episode in it, from Jar Jar to Dr. Nuvo Vindi. At number 22 is Downfall of a Droid. While this episode does have the Battle of Bothelwy, which is the first time we see this ATTE in space strategy from Anakin, you can really tell they were still figuring the show out with this episode, as it was one of the first produced from bad animation to out-of-place 2000s rock and roll music. Just kidding, please tell Kevin Kiner to bring this back. At 21 is Duel of the Droids. The second part to this arc isn't much better, but does feature a scene between Grievous, Ahsoka, and Captain Rex, and also we get to see R2-D2 prove he's the only droid that matters. 20. Storm over Ryloth. I fell asleep during this episode. 19. Trespass. I liked this one a lot more when I was younger, but there are far more interesting episodes on this list, and also this character, Chairman Chi Cho, is a prick.
No, I'm not. 18.
The Hidden Enemy. Here we've got yet more Christophesis, which is a plus. Also we get more Ventress, as well as a very unique and interesting plot with this clone traitor Slick, which is pretty cool. I love how this show does things with the clones that we never would have seen otherwise. I mean, they're practically the most fleshed out characters in Star Wars at this point. 17. Ambush. The first episode of the show, I certainly have some nostalgia for it, and Yoda is great in the Clone Wars, and it's interesting how before Season 7 existed, Clone Wars started and ended with Yoda, if you think about it. He has some great lessons, and it's cool seeing this group of clones too, that's being Rise, Thyre, and Jek. 16. Bombad Jedi. Jar Jar really isn't that bad in the Clone Wars. In fact, I think he was handled better here than in the prequels. Now, I don't dislike Jar Jar in Episode 1 by any means, but he's definitely improved here. Rhodia is a very cool planet, and I really like the betrayal from Senator Anaconda Farr here, and I actually enjoy the action with Jar Jar going around and getting into trouble with a Jedi cloak. 15. Innocence of Ryloth. This one is much better than the first part of the arc about the Battle of Ryloth, and we get to see Obi-Wan's assault on the Separatists, which is cool. Also, Waxer and Boyle are two nice additions to the clone army that make this episode very fun with their relationship with the Twi'lek girl Numa. 14. Liberty on Ryloth. The third episode of this same arc with Mace Windu and Wat Tambor is the best of the three because of just that. Mace Windu and Wat Tambor, but it's also the only one that actually shows the heat of the battle, which is very cool, especially seeing the unique Twi'lek military force with their blurgs and all. 13. Cloak of Darkness. Probably the most action we ever see Asajj Ventress in here, where she infiltrates a Venator and beheaded a 41st Legion clone in the process. The fight between Luminara Unduli and Ventress is quite nice. It really does show how powerful she is, considering she was able to nearly kill Luminara if it wasn't for Ahsoka. Gree is here too, and this guy, Argus, has a death scene that I remember from seeing in some book when I was like 6 or 7, and I don't really know how that makes this episode better, but I'm just gonna add that in there. So for 12, the Gungan General. This is the second part of these episodes with Anakin, Obi-Wan, Dooku, and Hondo Ohnaka's pirate gang. Obviously, Hondo is an iconic character, and we get some great humor between Anakin, Obi-Wan, and Dooku, who are trapped here together, as well as the iconic scene of Dooku force choking these pirates and making one shoot the other. Although Jar Jar is slightly more annoying in this episode, is no longer voiced by Ahmed Best, and kills this senator on purpose too, which is not too cool.
Jar Jar is a key to all this.
11. Defenders of Peace. I think for this arc with Ayla Secura and Commander Bly helping the Lurmen on Meridian, it is very underrated, at least within this season, and greatly expands the world building of the galaxy and neutral planets, as well as the different philosophies of Jedi like Ayla and Anakin. While I like the final battle of this episode and Loch Durd is funny, it isn't as thrilling as the adventure of the first one. Speaking of which, Jedi Crash is at 10, which has this awesome opening battle of Quell, which then moves to them crashing on Meridian after Anakin is injured, and they make a vital mistake on departure. The exploration of the planet is quite enjoyable to watch as well. 9. Destroy Malevolence. This is the third episode of the Malevolence arc that does have some cool locations and scenes, like in the inside of this super weapon ship, the Malevolence, obviously, and I like the chemistry between Anakin and Padme here. 8. Dooku captured. This has probably the best showcase of the humor and friendship between Anakin and Obi-Wan in the whole series, where Obi-Wan frees Anakin from prison, they attempt to capture Dooku, and also them getting into a nest of Gundarks, as was mentioned in Attack of the Clones, which now that I think about it doesn't really make sense considering that Clone Wars was after Episode 2, but I guess that means that Anakin and Obi-Wan just do this on a regular basis. Hondo is great, of course, also in this episode. 7. Shadow of Malevolence. I prefer this one to episode 4 slightly, as it has a very good build-up to the final space battle, which itself is very cool. Also, Anakin's pilot squadron gets a lot of screen time, which I appreciate as it makes these clone characters seem more cool and like real people. 6. Rising Malevolence. This episode doesn't even feel like it's connected to the other two, as it's mainly focused on Plo Koon and his discussion with his clones within one of the escape pods, which made Plo Koon the awesome character he is today. My second favorite Jedi, in fact. We'll talk more about the first one in a second here, but at 5 is Blue Shadow Virus. I've always loved this episode as we, 1, get to see Naboo in an episode which is quite cool, and 2, I really find the idea of a deadly plague that could seriously affect the galaxy to be a very interesting one. Also, Dr. Nuvo Vindi is very glorious.
Yeah,
I like the underground laboratory a lot too. 4. Mystery of 1,000 Moons. The second part of this is even better because we see the virus turned into physical form with this blue smoke, and there is the serious threat of both Anakin's wife and Padawan dying here, which makes their side quest to Iago very cool. And that was an interesting planet with its own lore too. Although I will say, sometimes Clone Wars arcs for real be having the most awkward episode endings. Like this one, they've completely saved the day, and the episode is wrapped up, but then at the start of the next one, the main villain is like, oh, actually I forgot to tell you this before the commercial break, but I planted a random bomb in the middle of Tashi Station, and you need to find the cure or else you'll get Ligma.
Who the hell is Steve Jobs?
Mortis does the same thing at the end of its first episode too, for whatever reason, where basically it's all resolved and then it's like in the next one it's a new episode. I don't know, it's kind of weird. At 3 is Rookies. Rookies is admittedly a masterpiece and somehow manages to be just as good, if not better, compared to its season 3 counterparts of Clone Cadets and ARC Troopers. Basically, with such a smaller scale threat like this, it really allows these shinies of no significance to really shine as good characters. There are some tense scenes also, like the opening capture of the Rishi Moon outpost and heavy sacrifice at the end as well. At 2 is Hostage Crisis. Now, for a channel called The Blue Bounty Hunter, it probably shouldn't come as a surprise that I like the Cad Bane episode as one of the best, but this one is seriously an extreme upgrade in quality from the rest of the season, and has a very cool heist type of episode where the bounty hunters led by Cad Bane, who is great in his first episode here, capture a group of senators and request Zero the Hutt's release in return. We also further the suspicion around Anakin and Padme and their relationship in Coruscant, and it has some great stakes with all of this stuff. Number 1, Lair of Grievous. In my opinion, the best episode of this season, one of the best of the show, because not only does it have Kit Fisto, the most goated Jedi out there, but also this episode really makes you feel the casualties of war. I mean, we get the death of all of Nadar Veb's clones, and then also his death on top of all of that. This episode honestly treats Grievous with more respect and shows us how terrifying the droid general's home is, which has a terrifying beast gore and pits of lava as well. Also, this treats Kit Fisto as a true Jedi, someone that feels a disturbance from his former Padawan's death, but still maintains his composure and is able to fight Grievous 1v1 and also some Magna Guards at the same time. And clearly, he would beat Grievous here if it wasn't for the cowardice and army of the droid general. I literally don't know why I capitalized that, whatever. So let me know, should I do season 2 next? Because I'm going to. So hopefully you want me to, otherwise it'd be kind of pointless, but yeah. Let me know what your ranking was also for these episodes. Did I have some really bad hot takes, like putting the Ryloth episodes so low? I just never really liked those that much, but they're definitely objectively good, so I'll give you that.
I feel lost.
Maybe it's because you haven't shopped at DBBH store, which now
has a brand new summer drop with 10 different products.
What?
Use code VaderWasRight for 25% off all products.
Yo, what's up, boys? Okay, currently at the beach right now, so just want to make this quick update video, let you know. Next couple videos for next week, probably gonna have a little bit of a different setup, like mic and stuff might sound a little bit different, but it should be same schedule, same everything. So yeah, yeah, let me know if anyone else is going to the beach. I'll probably put some clip in there somewhere. But anyway, that's it for this video. You can subscribe if you want to. Consider checking out the summer merch drop, as there are some very cool products on there. Also, check out the live streams we're doing every single Friday, where we play some old Star Wars games like Battlefront 2. I upload normal videos every Friday at 5 o'clock p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Also, shorts every day. But yeah, see ya.